Fine. So yesterday we have seen the continuous integration concept, okay, why it is important in the product development, and later how the continuous integration tools evolve, okay, and various types of tools available in the market. Among them, we are trying to learn the Jenkins, and we have seen some history behind the Jenkins, who developed it, when it is derived, okay, what is the specialty of about it, okay. At the same time, we install this Jenkins in a Linux instance and we try to access the Jenkins server through a web URL, okay. Also, I have explained the architecture of the Jenkins, okay. Like when it comes to architecture, we call this as a master-slave configuration, and I tried to create slave configuration for a demonstration yesterday. That was a Linux slave. Windows slave, we were not able to do it due to the reason it is not supporting the JNLMP way of connecting, okay, but usually it should show that in other versions of Jenkins. I asked you to try a little bit older version, okay, so that's where we are there, okay. Today we'll start with job creation, okay. This is the most important stuff in Jenkins. So with this you perform your continuous integration task, okay? So how to create a job, okay, and what exactly a job contains in Jenkins, okay. So to see that, first of all, let me bring up my Linux machine. So the Linux machine is up and running. So if it is up and running, I should be able to close all this. .192.8080. Jenkins up and running. Yes. Okay. And we created an account for admin account yesterday. Admin. Oh, is it not admin? What is it? Admin. Strange. Do you anyone remember what exactly the username password we created?
Admin 123.
Admin 123. I don't think
123.
I don't give 123 for Jenkins. As I remember, I just give username password as same. Admin. What the? Okay.
Admin password.
Okay. The thing is, we didn't reset the new version of Jenkins 2.4 is available, right? So let's reset the password first, guys. Click on admin name, go to configure. It's simple, guys. It's a web browser. Like how do you reset your Facebook, Gmail password, something like that. Come over here, just type the new password, admin. That's it. Okay. Now reset the password. Go back to home. Cool. So let's start creating a job. Typically, before creating a job, first of all, what do you mean by job in Jenkins? Okay. See, let me give a scenario. Think about there is no Jenkins or CA2. Okay. So you're a human resource. Somebody asks you to do a continuous integration job. Okay. So what is a continuous integration job? So as part of continuous integration, we perform several tasks. Okay. Let's list down all those tasks one by one. Okay. Then you'll get an idea what exactly these set of tasks and how do we embed them in a Jenkins. Okay. The first and foremost is as part of there is one project. Okay. They assigned a project. Okay, and they ask you to perform a continuous integration on project 1. So if that is the case, the first step what you're supposed to do it, check out the code of project 1. Okay, first is supposed to check out the code. Then after that, you have a slow connection. Would you like to hide all webcams? Okay, was it showing the webcam earlier? Fine. So first you check out the code, then perform a build. Okay, then execute the unit test. Okay, and then after the unit tests are completed, report the status. These are the core functionalities of a continuous integration job. Okay, so you have to perform all these four properly and report it. That's what you need to do. Now all this together we call it the CA job. Okay, now these four things you need to create in a Jenkins in Jenkins in a job format actually. Okay, all these four steps you have to create it in a job format. So that's called a job. Okay, let's try to create a job. Go to new item, click on new item, and try to provide your job name. Okay, so project 1 CA bit. I'm just giving some name called CA bit. Okay, so always go for the freestyle project one, guys. Okay, which has a ability to configure whatever the project you wanted. I mean whatever the tool you wanted to configure, like there are a number of VCS tools and all. Okay, a number of build tools are there. All those things you can easily do to the freestyle project. Okay, the different types of parts are there. Pipeline is there. We'll come back to the pipeline later, guys. Okay, an external job is nothing but apart from the CA jobs, we can make use of Jenkins to monitor some external jobs as well. Okay, so that is only for monitoring purpose. Multi-configuration job is something like if you want to perform multiple jobs in a different condition based access. Okay, then you can go for the multi-configuration is something like multiple number of freestyle projects configured into this actually. Okay, so GitHub integration, multi-branch pipeline, these are the options, guys. Okay, in case if you are using the GitHub, then you can directly choose this. Okay, multi-branch pipeline is something like if you are using GitHub kind of a repository system. Okay, and you want to create a job which is in line with the multi-branch pipeline, you can go. These are the new features of Jenkins, not so popular. Okay, at the moment. And in case if you want, you can give it a try, guys. Okay, I don't see these two things in earlier versions. Okay. So the most important is the freestyle one. First, the learners, you should go with the freestyle one. Just click on OK. So this will take you to the configuration page. This we call as the configuration page. In this configuration page, see, treat it this is a machine. Typically, what exactly a machine will do? Processing oil. Okay. So before processing, it needs some inputs. Am I right? See, forget about machine. If you are a resource, okay, if I ask you to perform a continuous integration build, okay, will you directly go ahead and start performing the continuous integration build, or you ask some questions to me? You have some inputs, right? So okay, provide me the source code. Okay. Now, once the source code is provided, once the build is successful, whom do I report? I need the email IDs. Okay. So you ask some questions. Same thing. Your Jenkins job is also asking some questions to you. Okay. So those questions are nothing but inputs. Okay. You need to feed the input so that your Jenkins job can do, okay, what a typical guy will do it as part of continuous integration, right? So this page talks about feeding the inputs, right? So description, project name is the same thing what you gave it in the first screen. Description is like you can give any description, say like Java projects, blah 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 something. Okay. Next, I'll go to the important ones, guys. Okay, important options. I'll come back to this page and talk about rest of them later. Okay. So first, go to the restrict where this part can be run. This is something like mapping your part to a particular slave. I lost the diagram yesterday. Let me try to write it. Draw the diagram. This is what your Jenkins server. Okay, and you might have n number of slaves, right? So these are all your slaves. Okay. So the thing is, if you have a project 1 here, project 1, okay, map it with slave 1, something like that. Okay, project 2, map it with slave 2. So you're doing a mapping now. So similarly, now project 1, where do you want to run? So right now you have 3 slaves in the diagram, but actually in your architecture, how many slaves you have? You have only one, which is a Linux slave. If you remember, yesterday we created that. Okay. So what is the slave name, guys? Linux, right? Can you see if I type L, the slave name is coming here, Linux agent. Okay. So select that. So my first step is done. Okay. One